What's an efficient way to pull Raguel up after he rope jumps? Check it out on this episode of How Not to Rope Jump. Okay, Raguel just jumped. First step is to lower down the static rope to him. You can let it go as fast as it'll go. Robert unties the haul line so it will lower. We're letting the rope down, letting the static rope down, while the yellow rope is also going down. Okay, step one, put it in the
Cootenay carriage?
Cootenay carriage.
Okay, but undo the carabiner.
Oh, don't do anything without being clipped in. Hold on.
Yeah, you got something for me?
Bad dog.
There you go.
Thank you.
Only the cameraman can be unclipped in.
Alright, so it goes in the Cootenay carriage?
The coochie carriage.
Coochie carriage?
It's like its own little A-frame, eh?
Hey.
With a little wiggle. Yep. Make sure your coochie is there. And now we have nothing rubbing the edge, and this protects the very, very little bit of sandstone that touches. This redirect keeps it coming straight up the whole time and not like twerking with the protraction. Okay, we're ready to haul. Okay, reset. So he just kind of has to pull himself up. We have two aiders there, and I just like treat this like it's a belay.
Oh, shit. That was awesome.
Okay, so now I'm going to show you the details of our unique haul setup. But first, if you have not seen slacklife.global yet, go check it out. Slacklife Global is an extreme sports agency that provides full service for all your production, performance, and events needs. So if you have a project where you need to hire extreme sport athletes, riggers, or logistics specialists, or if you want to be represented by Slacklife Global, go to www.slacklife.global. Slacklife Global specializes in impossible. The sky is not our limit. So there's a lot of different ways to pull people back up. The simplest and the least selfish way to get yourself back up would be to do it with an ascender and just jug up and slide back over to the anchor and then reset the rope yourself. However, everything's better when you work together. So it's nice, if you're going to have 10 people there anyways, to have other people pull the jumper back up. Now, there's different ways to do this. You can pull people, you can pull the whole system, the rings they jumped on, slide it over, which is got a lot of negative sides. And then you can pull people straight up the cliff face, and they end up being at the anchor. Or you can have this sitting at the rings and have more or less a third jump rope, and they're already attached. You pull them up and over to the anchor. However, this puts them at the rings and they have to slide over afterwards. And then you have a lot of rope management, especially during resetting. What I like about pulling people directly back up to the jump spot is if something were to go wrong, you end up just rope swinging again. You don't hit cliff faces or anything like that. You don't have to reset the rope. The rope is up there. I'm not saying that there's no rope management to pull the haul line back up or anything, but especially if there's other high lines, you don't have to go under this and have a whole bunch of people working near a cliff edge untied in. At all times during the setup I'm showing you here, people are always tied in. Okay, here's a little demo. Keep in mind, this is not what I'm teaching you. I'm not teaching you the horizontal. That is not how you rig a rope jump. So my focus here is on not being tied into the static rope that hauls you back up, but making it easy to get people clipped to it. So essentially, it's just you have a tagline that you keep off to the side. It's out of people's way when they jump. And that pulls up. We found this figure 8 is a real nice device to use on here. It slides up and down the 2 jump ropes really easily and gives you a clipping point for the haul line. Now, at the rostrum when we did it, we had to unclip off of this point and then clip it to ourselves, risking that the tagline and this would come apart. And that takes a lot of work to reset. So we tied a Super 8. Google how to do that if you don't know how. And that gives us 2 bunny ears. One bunny ear goes to the metal figure 8 here. And the other one is just sits loose. So it looks like this when it's not attached to anyone. So you lower the rope, and you have to give slack here and slack here. If it's not going down, someone's not giving slack. We found that to be a real common problem when we were setting everything up. And then when this gets down to you, you clip to it, and then people can just start pulling you up right away. And you're at the end of the jump ropes naturally, so they come up with you, and everything keeps pretty organized. But it does take about 5 minutes, if everyone knows what they're doing, to reset this. Because once this is down at the bottom and people are back up, you have to pull this back up, and then you have to pull this out of the way from the jumpers. Now, the 2 jump ropes are back at the exit point. So that's pretty nice. You just like look at it and make sure that they're not tangled, and then it's pretty much ready to go. And if someone is going to do multiple jumps in a row, when you have 10 people, it's hard to have people jump more than once. But if you're efficient enough, you can get people who are already tied in. You just pull up the haul line again, and then they can jump off again. Lower it down, haul them back up, and reset it. So you can, in theory, get somebody 3 jumps in 20 minutes, which is actually faster than a lot of rope jump setups. So besides safety, which is always number 1, reset times are what I would call number 2. Because the faster you can reset things, the more people can jump. And the more people you have, the less of a burden it is for anyone to jump. Because it takes so much to pull people back up if you only have like 4 people hauling people. So if you have 10 people like we did at the Fruitbowl, helping pull people back up, it's a breeze, it's quick. You have 4 or 5 people resetting all the ropes. And we spent more time dicking around with cameras than we did with ropes at the Fruitbowl. Now, when pulling people back up, it would have been obviously really nice to have one of those really expensive rescue tripod things that you could hang possibly like this underneath it, and the rope would come up to that point and then over, possibly making it easier for people to actually get back on the cliff. But we just hung the aiders over the side so people just climbed the last few feet, and the rope was just sitting on top of here. So then the rope would lift out as they climbed past this point, and this generally just stayed there. I had a board underneath, and then I used these holes to clamp it down. Because without that, the day before, it wanted to roll, and then someone had to basically sit near the cliff edge the entire time, clipped in order to stabilize this. The wood trick really helped for this one. The Cootenay carriage, which was Slacklife BC's, they lent it to me while they were on Castleton. We set it on the rock like this, so it was like a miniature A-frame, but it was super nice because everything just spun right up over there. We just had no friction. It was really nice. The reason we had to have the redirect is because we didn't add any bolts. All those bolts were there and we just used what was available. So it went and redirected, keeping the rope directly in line with this, and then went to our protraction. Our protraction was nice because we could undo the teeth here, like that, without ever having to unclip this. So we never took this out of the system. We actually only had to take the Cootenay carriage, where we opened it up and lift the rope out of it to move it off to the side for the people jumping. And then we'd set it back and do this. That was the only pulley that we ever had to mess with again. This thing we'd like set off to the side or whatever, depending on the way people were going to jump. Now the rope going through this and the Cootenay carriage didn't put like a ton of force on it, So the rope actually just smashed it down in place, but because it's right near an edge, we use paracord and we slipped it through there, fixed on this side, and then adjustable on that side. So we could just keep pulling it forwards and backwards until it stayed where we wanted it to stay. And then we didn't have to adjust it after that. So make sure any device or anything that's near an edge is tied off so you don't lose it, because that'd be expensive and maybe hose your rope jump, and you don't want to litter. I gotta reiterate this again. You gotta be clipped in when you're near a cliff edge. That's the most dangerous part of a rope jump. Even if you have a janky rope jump, it's still not being tied to anything is gonna be more dangerous. It's important to have it convenient. You gotta have something that's already pre-set up, that's easy to clip to, so everyone can clip to it at any time. You never want to be in the mindset of, oh, I'm just going to do this one thing, or this will be real quick, because you add all those times up together and you're working quite a bit near a cliff edge. Now, I normally say this at the end, but I want to make a special point about this. If you appreciate these videos and the information I'm sharing, do me a favor and don't rope jump. Please don't go rig your first rope jump, or honestly any rope jump, after watching a YouTube video about it. This is just to explore ideas and for you to understand what you're looking at when you do go with people who know what they're doing, rather than just from scratch not knowing what you're looking at. So please, 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 please don't go rig a rope jump. Hey, thanks for watching, but don't be an idiot and think you can clip some climbing ropes to a high line and start jumping off of things. Instead, if you want to rope jump, please go with people who know what they're doing. But until you get that opportunity, continue watching these videos and don't forget to subscribe.